This video was supposed to be about going and getting some logs and running the sawmill, but it's took a big change because we got a couple hours of just flood level rain, and we're gonna take a walk around and look at how that's affecting the pond, but also the Quonset hut.
I've got an Oliver 1650 at the house.
Like a working machine.
Use it for logging.
You still use it skidding logs?
Yep.
I bet it'll pull about whatever you hook onto.
Yeah, it'll surprise you.
Keep the tip back. If it slides, we want it to go that way.
Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms, and I've got my dad here to help me for a little while again today. I'm also going to go visit Paul Case and pick up some logs. So last week, we took the mill head off and we reinforced the milling stand to make it capable of making this trip to the Oklahoma Homesteading Expo. Today, we're going to get it back into action because the expo is a little over 2 weeks away, and I don't want to wait 2 more weeks before I mill another log. So I haven't got the head set back on because I actually felt like I'd probably need help with that. So that's the first thing we're gonna do.
I'm really looking forward to this show. I think if you can at all, you ought to come out to it. I think it's going to be really interesting. I want to see what other people are doing. I just keep it close to the ground until you get close to the Your tip down, tip back before you raise. Ease down a little bit. Down a little bit. Hold it. Okay, you're done. Right down. That wasn't so bad.
Once you figure it out, it's not that bad. That took us like 3 minutes to put that on. So I think even if I could pick the whole thing up to transport, wouldn't be a bad idea maybe to carry it in 2 pieces anyway.
Yeah. Because when you're not as top heavy, you're a lot less likely for something to tip when you turn a corner or...
Well, Dad doesn't have all day to work with me today, so I'm getting ready to head to Paul's house and get a load of logs. But I appreciate your help.
Yeah.
And I'll see you in a minute. All right, we're set up for milling. Time to gather some logs. Sounds like Paul's dog doesn't want me here, maybe. Arr, arr. Uh-oh, I hear him talking about me. We got company in here. That's Kevin. So you just been toting him around so he doesn't have to walk?
I've got him trained. Come out and we shut everything off because we know what happens.
Yeah, no work getting done.
No work gets done. Everything you touch breaks when the camper's on.
And how'd you split all this?
Camera
wasn't here.
Yeah. It wouldn't work right when I first got it because I had all the paint on it still, but I'm fixing it.
So we're getting ready to go load some logs here. And Paul asked if they were good enough. I said, yeah, they're good enough for me, but I'm swapping some work for the logs. And I said, if I don't do a very good job, it means I didn't like the logs. Is that how we do it?
Well, you're getting the logs, so you probably should do me a really slam good job.
I'm not even capable of a good job. I'm just saying if it's mediocre or bad.
Well, you have all the equipment to do a very good job.
We're going to use that extendable boom mower. We're going to go take a look at that in just a minute. I'm joking around about these logs not being good enough, but I'm not getting these logs for the lumber. I don't really care what they are. I just need something to mill at this show to demonstrate how the mill works. And lighter logs are probably better, smaller logs, because they're easier to handle. Want me to move? Do I need to move the truck to make it easier?
No, I can load you right there. You want to roll up in the front and then one back over the axles?
Whatever you think you can do. I think it's about 20 foot long. What are these, 8?
Probably 9.
Yeah, if it'll support 2, then we can do 2. So what we've got here is an auction that's coming up, and Paul is just trying to help someone out and do some cleanup out here, but I've got the perfect piece of equipment for this part of it. So it's a very long driveway and they need better access to it. Way down there. And so the idea is she's wanting these branches as far as I can get it.
Yeah.
Ooh, doggy. That's a humdinger. Or I'll get whatever I can reach. All right, guys. So tell me who got the better end of that swap. You saw my log pile on the truck, and I'm gonna clean that up. Let me know. So are these some of the machines that are being auctioned?
No, this is one of the guy that leases the property for hay.
Oliver 1850. And then you guys ever ran an Oliver 1850?
I've got an Oliver 1650 at the house.
Well, guys, this video just took a turn from what I started off wanting to do, and we may still get the mill running, but right now I want to show you kind of a water issue we have with flooding out the Quonset hut. And just for a point of reference, I'm coming down here to check the pond because it's been threatening rain the last couple days, but not getting that much. Well, we got a real flood level downpour the last few hours. It's supposed to run the rest of the day. But I've been watching the pond for, I don't know, the last year, waiting for it to fill up, and it won't fill up, and now it's up over the bank in a span of a couple hours of rain. Right here you can see the water runoff. That looked like a snake instead of a I don't think that was a frog. I think that might have been a snake. You can see we got a lot of runoff coming from my French drain here. I ran that French drain all the way down here. It's doing its job. So I love to see that's running well. But you can see we are getting some dirt into the pond from it because this part of the pond's a different color than the rest. But I'm really happy to see how high up the water level is over here. The water's way up above our little land bridge there. Need to get the weed eater out here and do some cleanup. We've got one spot here that's eroding, and it's going to continue to wash out until we get grass to grow across here. So basically, I'm just going to have to keep bringing dirt and packing it down until that grass comes across. We've got you can see that my grass seed really took hold down here and is looking good. But I lost my straw mat. But I'm real happy to see that grass is taking hold on here. Because we had this nice shape here on this pond bank, but if it all erodes out, we lose it. And you can see we've got erosion right here and we're losing it. Now I also put grass seed up here, but this is not topsoil. This was basically clay, and I didn't know if it would take. It didn't work everywhere, but we did get some good coverage over here. So that's all good that we've got that grass spreading. And down here at the pond, I'm not really seeing any problems other than a couple little washouts. And we're still holding water over there. But for the most part, the pond is taking this water well. But I'm not getting as good a luck up at the Quonset hut. My plan in this area is once the water problem is solved and it's draining right, I'm going to rock all of this over here. The reason I have one little patch of rock and then that's dirt and this is dirt is I want all of this to be rock. But I wanted to solve the water problem first. And I was waiting on the rainy season, but I wasn't going to just walk through mud all the time. So I put this one strip of rock down. So I've got a good path to walk on. Now we'll deal with it. We got a stream washing down here. We've got a washout right here. And this is the problem. Ever since we built the Quonset hut, maybe 20% of the inside of the building wants to have water standing in it when we get high level rain. And I've been trying to mitigate that a couple different ways. One, I did put in a drain line here, but I did a very poor job of it because I hadn't done very many at that time. And I dug my trench, I put the pipe in it, and I put some rock on the pipe. But then I put like a foot or more of clay on top, and no water's going through that clay to get to my pipe. So it was a waste of time putting it there. So I could put in a drain line that runs up here along this side and down here. But what I've been waiting on to do anything is to see what's actually happening with the water. And you can't do that during a drought or in the winter very well. So we can see water's washing down the hill, coming down here, and running down there. That part's not causing me a problem. I don't really see where water is running from where I'm at into the Quonset hut, which is what I thought was happening. I thought water was coming down here and then finding a low spot and running into the Quonset hut. But after I saw that, I packed in dirt right here under where this slab wood is. I put in, 5 yards of dirt there and raised the level of that so this water can't go that way. And now it's coming down here. But somehow I've still got water pooling there. So let's take a look. So all of this is dry over here. It's dry where I'm standing. But I have a water problem that goes from here out to the corner. I thought that water was coming around the wall right there and washing in, but it's not. It doesn't look like it is, because I think it's higher right here than it is out there. So I actually think that water might all be coming through the wall right here, like in between the blocks, because dirt level on the outside is even with the top of that block. So we have 2 foot of dirt there, and I think a lot of that water is coming in through the wall. And I don't know what to do about that, really. Let me show you again real quick what I did out here to try to mitigate it. All right, so from the outside of the building, you can see I built dirt level up even with the top of those blocks. And right over here, all the way up against the building, I put a drain line right under where I'm standing. But then I buried it with 2 feet of clay. And that wasn't my plan. I put the drain line in thinking I was going to leave ground level lower. Then I put in all this dirt on top of it. So that drain line's doing nothing. Now when I built this up, I made a flat spot here, and contoured my slope down, and I left this valley here that water is supposed to run down, and it's doing that other than the fact I've got a high spot right here. So I need to knock that little high spot out so that this water can keep running down, because I did grade this and you can see water is traveling it. So one thing I could do, besides clean this out, I could put it in an actual drain line where I've got this indentation, try to catch water off the hill so that it doesn't even come down this far. And then I could run that drain line right here and just match where it's already trying to go. That may be the best bet. My plan for when I got back was to unload those logs off the trailer and probably mill 1 log today just to get it running again. But that storm system is saying that this is the one break we're going to get right now. It's going to be hail and high winds and everything else the rest of the night. So I'm just going to call it a day. But I'm glad that I happened to be out here right after that rain so I can at least see what's happening and make a plan to deal with it. Now you can really see a lot of water is coming in between those blocks on that wall. That's what it's doing. All right, well, I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.